edition of Mrs. Seaford Vlogs. I'm Stephanie Crawford, and I'm happy to have you here with me today. So I know in this kind of crazy time, we may be looking for things that we can do to connect with our students, maybe to make the most use of that time that we have because it's shortened. We're not having them for full days or full 40-minute classes. We want to make the most impact that we can while still building relationships and connecting with some learning too, right? So I thought of something that we could do, like a hidden picture. So you're going to take a picture. It could be a picture from your house. Like you actually just literally take your phone, take a picture of something in your home, or from a walk that you've taken, a picture from nature, okay? Take a picture, and you're going to then put a list of criteria that your students need to find from it. So for instance, you might want your students to find a couple images that would show alliteration. So they're going to have to look at the names of the items in the picture, be able to put a name to them, and then write that out and show that alliteration. So they're proving that they know what alliteration is also. You might have them in that same picture look for something that shows a science concept and have them explain the science concept, and that can change obviously in regards to what level they are. So you could have them looking at, for instance, if there's a person in there, the color of their eyes, and they have to kind of discuss that genetics of how that happens. Or it could just be as simple as there's something that's living in there, and they can go down to that simple biology as well. Again, whatever you've done with your science. When you also look at the science element of it, remember, it doesn't have to be something living. So if you have a light switch in your picture, that can be a scientific connection. If you have an outlet in your picture, that can be a scientific connection. As you do these pictures too, something fun that you can incorporate is, what do you notice and why do you think that? So you're working on them actually looking at the picture to see what they can comprehend from it, but also having to work on those skills of, okay, why do I think this? So if I'm standing outside and they have to say something about the day, what kind of weather was it? All right, well, in this picture, it's clearly windy. How do we know? Well, because my hair isn't sitting straight across my face or straight down next to my face. It's blowing like it's across my face, something that it wouldn't naturally do. It's cold, or at least colder than it probably normally would be on a bright sunny day like that we would expect in April. How do we know? Well, because I have a hoodie fully zipped up with the hood up on it. So there are ways that you can use these pictures too to increase those skills to really look at that picture and comprehend what they're seeing. This can really help students pick up on the context of pictures and help them understand like how they make that educated guess and how to get there with the evidence. You can put in your ELA in another way too. You could say, write a summary of what you think is happening in this picture. With your math, you could say, take the items in this picture and make a real world math problem I might encounter based on what's happening here. So it could be as simple as, you have a picture from out in nature that a deer was in, and they're going to end up writing their own math problem. Maybe it's about more deer showing up or what happens when that deer leaves. It can be simple math if you've got littles, but it can also be a higher order thinking too with that math. You would get to kind of dictate what you're looking for. Maybe you say it's a certain step equation. Maybe you say the type of function that has to come out of it. But you're still having them practice those principles, but in a different way. So now instead of isolating each subject, then you're able to bring them together. Even if you are a content teacher in a secondary class, there's nothing wrong with you incorporating different subjects into your material. It's a good time to show how interrelated things can be too. So again, remember, it doesn't have to be one type of picture. This gives you a lot of freedom to get a picture from a lot of different places. From around your house, or if you step outside, taking a walk, whatever that is, you have a lot of options here to have different pictures and make this a daily or a weekly kind of event for your students. So find a picture, take a picture, come up with your criteria. What are they going to look for? Maybe it's something that starts with a certain letter. Maybe it's a beginning sound. Maybe they have to name 5 items in the picture. Maybe you have something hidden in there that was important to your class. Maybe it's a little like mascot, maybe you had like a stuffed animal. Maybe there was something that was a symbol of your class, and you've hidden it somewhere in this picture that you've taken, and you ask them to see what they find. And then that becomes a little game too. So now you've brought relationship building into it. It's not just schoolwork. It's not just them going through their content. It's also like being in your classroom as much as you can without being in your classroom. Give it a try. See how it goes. You could always have students submit pictures to you that you could use for these as well if you like it and it gets going. Or it could just be your kind of thing that you take a picture. It's a surprise each day what that picture is going to be. And then your criteria might change as it goes. Maybe you even work with another class and you flip pictures sometimes and you each do the other one. Simple way, easy way, quick way to get more involved, to do something a little different, and to make the most of the time you have with your students. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time on Mrs. Seifert Vlogs.